Hey everybody, Happy New Year and welcome to 2022. This is the first video of the new year and wanted to kind of expand on the subject I've talked about in the previous videos, which were intervals, fifths. And I'm going to show you a cool thing that I learned from Joe DiOrio and how I took that and made it my own and did some cool things with it, so check it out. So if you take a chord scale in the key of C, these voicings here, we've got 1, 5, 7, 3. And same thing, C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G 7, A minor 7, B half diminished, and back to C. We can play the individual notes. What's interesting to do is you have the fifth down here. You take this note here, which is the seventh. I talked about in the previous video that I did in the old year about inverting a fourth or a fifth. So if I take this fourth here, which has the major 7 and the third, and invert it, now I get a fifth. And I get a nice big jump. You can actually take the chord scale and you'll notice that they're all fifths except for when I get to the dominant 7. There's a tritone up there, and when I play the half diminished, I have the tritone down here. Or down here. And of course that could also be G7, and those of you that know my playing know that I use that line a lot for dominant 7s. For G7. It's a good way to get some dispersions, and this is something I've done a long time. But what I've also done, and when I got that information from Joe, I took this up an octave and did that. So now I have this C major 7, D minor 7, and what you could do is I could take the open string, move that up a minor third, so there's my 2-5-1. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the open strings, and not just in the key of C. I've got a whole bunch of things that I use for different keys where the open string could possibly be an altered note or it could be a diatonic note. But what is important is to hear what the note is actually doing. Now in the case of this, it's a B and a G. Lots of ways to use this that are very, very useful. The more you can get inside of things and understand how they sound in real time, not looking at the notes and not thinking about, well, this is the correct note from this particular key and that. No, you have to hear what the note is saying and what it's doing for the chord. If you can't do that, it's very hard to play. It's like if you're speaking a language and you're trying to say a word that you have no idea what it means, but you're able to phonetically get it out. If you don't put the stress in the right place, you're going to say Yosemite and not Yosemite. So you have to be aware of that. But this is a good way to get there because you can start to hear how those notes outline the chords.